If you keep attracting the wrong men, the wrong energy, the wrong patterns, it's not because you're unworthy. It's because no one ever handed you the real code about what makes a high value woman. Queen, they taught us how to look good, but not how to be grounded. They taught us how to be chosen, but not how to choose ourselves. They taught us how to wait, but not how to hold a standard. And that's why today's message matters. Hi, love. I'm Kay Ali Cole, and this is where women learn to love and lead from power and not panic. This is where we return to our truth and learn the strategy of peace, power, and purpose. Before we begin, Queens, stay with me until the end. Your exclusive Queen's closing gift is waiting there for you. And also, I see a lot of you Queens watching, but not subscribing yet. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You give your time, I give my best. That's our promise to each other, okay? All right, let's settle in and get comfortable, ladies and gents, if you're here. Okay, every woman thinks she knows her worth until she's faced with someone who doesn't honor it. Every woman thinks she has boundaries until she's tempted to break them. Are you still up? Remember those calls? Every woman thinks she has standards until loneliness whispers in her ear. Every woman thinks she's high value until life tests areas she still needs to be strengthened. And that's why this conversation is important. Because being a high value woman isn't about being perfect. It's not. It's not about money, looks, status, or having the best lifestyle. It's not about being cold or hard or unavailable. It's not about pretending you don't need anybody. A high value woman isn't created by how she looks. She's created by how she moves. Tonight, we're breaking down the high value woman's code. Not the internet version, no. Not the surface level version, no. Not the aesthetic version, but the real, rooted, spiritual, emotional, and behavioral version. The version that protects your peace. The version that raises your standards. The version that stops you from chasing, proving, or performing. The version that keeps you soft and your spirit intact and steady. We're going to talk about the codes that make a woman unforgettable. Not because she tries, but because she's anchored. Codes that shift the way you carry yourself. Codes that shift the way you let people treat you. And codes that shift the way you love, choose, respond, and move in relationships. Because once a woman locks into these codes, she stops negotiating with energy that doesn't match hers. She stops shrinking for people who can't meet her halfway. She stops explaining herself to people committed to misunderstanding her and all her moves. And she stops accepting half love from half-grown men. And she stops begging for clarity she should have demanded from day one. She becomes a woman whose presence speaks for her. And that's what we're stepping in tonight. Okay? All right. So, high-value women. We've heard all the different notions about it, be it the internet, right? But what it really boils down to is how you move. The high-value woman's code matters. It matters because, Queen, every woman thinks she's high value until life puts pressure on the parts she hasn't healed yet. A woman says she has boundaries until she likes him. A woman says, I don't chase until he pulls back. A woman says she's healed until she gets triggered in the same place she swore she outgrew. And a woman says she's strong until she's alone at night replaying a man's mixed signals like a movie. We've all seen that movie, right? And none of that means she's weak. it means she was never taught the code. Here's the truth. Most women never hear. Value isn't in who you are. Value is in what you choose. Okay, let that sink in. A woman becomes high value when she stops treating low effort men like high level opportunities. A woman becomes high value when she stops romanticizing inconsistency. A woman becomes high value when she stops letting loneliness rewrite her standards. And a woman becomes high value when she stops entertaining men who drains her nervous system. You can be beautiful, brilliant, spiritual, soft, healed, but if your choices don't match that level, your life won't either. This is where the code comes in. The high value woman's code does 4 things, and I want you to remember these 4 things, okay? 1, it protects your peace. Not everyone gets emotional access to you. Not everyone gets a seat at your table. Not everyone is safe enough to hear your heart. 2, it filters who qualifies. Good intentions aren't enough. Potential isn't enough. Chemistry isn't enough. Consistency is a new love language. 3, it stops you from chasing breadcrumbs because a woman living in her code refuses to starve in places where bare minimum is considered effort. And 4, it takes love easier, not harder. When your standards are clear, your life is peaceful. When your heart is grounded, your choices get healthier. When your energy is aligned, your relationships get clearer. And let me tell you something real. Most women don't struggle because of men. We don't. Most of us struggle because of the exceptions we make for men. It's not him that breaks you. It's the places where you abandoned your own code. You stayed after the first inconsistency. You forgave without changed behavior. You lowered your tone, your standard, and your voice. You convinced yourself it's not that bad. You accepted maybe energy when your spirit clearly needed a yes or a no. And every time you bent, you broke a little. Not because of him, but because your spirit knows when you've gone against your own truth. Think about it. That's why the code matters. Not to impress men, not to look perfect, not to compete with other women. The code matters because your peace depends on it. The code matters because your heart can afford discounts anymore. The code matters because your life changes the moment you stop negotiating your worth. And Queen, this is why I'm so passionate about this message. Your softness, your femininity, your heart, your standard, they're not meant to be wasted on anybody who cannot meet you where you already stand. Tonight, we're not just defining value, we're elevating how you walk in it. Queen, let me tell you the truth that shifts everything. You don't become a high value woman by trying harder. You become a high value woman by choosing better. Choosing better. And most women don't need more effort. They need more honesty with themselves, right? Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer it in your chest, not your head. What version of you keeps getting you in trouble? Is it the version of you that hates being alone? Is it the version of you that over-explains? Is it the version of you that falls in love with potential? Is it the version of you that keeps giving one more chance? Is it the version of you that believes peace is something you earn instead of something you choose? Think about it. Because a high value women's code isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. And alignment requires self-confrontation. A woman out of alignment will say things like, he's just busy. He's not that deep. He didn't mean it like that. He's going through a lot. It's complicated. Have you said those things? We all have. But a woman in her code says, I have peace to protect. I have purpose to fulfill. I have a future to build. I won't argue with inconsistency. I won't negotiate with confusion. I won't let loneliness make decisions for me. Let me give you a moment from my own life. There was a season where I kept saying, why don't they choose me? Yeah, stupid, right? Why did he pull away? Why did he pull back? Why am I always the one trying so hard? Yeah. And God checked me softly but clearly. He said, you're not being rejected, Kay. You're being redirected. And he's always redirecting me. But you keep chasing the places I'm trying to pull you out of. So true. Because here's the truth. No woman wants to admit at first. Half the heartbreak in your life didn't come from men. It came from ignoring your intuition. You knew. You felt it in your body. You sensed it in your spirit. You probably knew from day one. You saw the red flags. You said they were orange. You tried to love someone into being ready. You tried to inspire someone into being consistent. You tried to earn effort from someone who barely deserved access. And your intuition whispered the whole time. It was saying, this isn't alignment. This isn't right for you. This doesn't feel good. This does not feel like love. Yeah. But love, the moment you start honoring what your spirit already told you, your whole life upgrades. So let me give you something powerful. The high value woman's code begins with emotional honesty. Not with rules, not with strategies, not with dating tips, with honesty. Honesty. Rule 1. Honesty about what you feel. Honesty about what you require. Honesty about who deserves access. Honesty about who doesn't. Honesty about where you betrayed yourself. Honesty about your intuition, about what your intuition already confirmed. Because a high value woman isn't loud, she isn't chasing, she isn't auditioning, she isn't competing, she isn't begging for clarity. She is clear, she is consistent, she is calm and centered. And a woman gets centered, her whole world rearranges in her favor. I want you to hear this next part with your whole spirit. The woman you're becoming cannot live in the patterns you're leaving. You cannot take confusion into your next season. It cannot be written into your next chapter. You cannot take inconsistency into the next chapter like a rerun in a story. You cannot take bare minimum effort into your next story, love. You cannot take men who drain you into your life you're trying to build on peace. Your next level requires you to stop negotiating with old versions of yourself. This is a moment it clicks. This is a moment your spirit straightens up. This is a moment your standard rises. This is a moment you remember, I am not available for anything that diminishes me. And love, once you step into that energy, you're not just high value. You're unforgettable. You're unforgettable. All right, now that we've cracked the truth and open it up, let's break down what the high value woman's code actually looks like in real life. Not on the gram, not the aesthetic version, not the soft girl era trend, but real life, the real version, the grounded version, the version that holds up in dating and relationships and friendships and everyday life. That version. Let's talk about 5 pillars that every high-value woman lives by, quietly, consistently, and unapologetically. The first one is, she honors her intuition the first time. A woman rooted in her value doesn't wait for proof to trust what God already whispered. If something feels off, she listens. If energy shifts, she pays attention. If her spirit tightens, she doesn't negotiate. She doesn't need the full story to honor the first signal. Because intuition is not paranoia. Intuition is protection, a divine gift that you were given. Pillar 2, she doesn't respond, she doesn't react. A high-value woman doesn't panic text. She doesn't chase clarity. She doesn't spiral when someone pulls back. She observes first, then she decides. Her power isn't in what she does aggressively, it's in what she does intentionally. The third pillar, her boundaries aren't warnings, they're habits. People think boundaries are statements. No, love. Boundaries are behaviors. A high-value woman doesn't say, I don't tolerate disrespect. She lives in a way where disrespect never even gets a chance to come her way. She doesn't argue, she doesn't convince, she doesn't lecture grown adults. She simply removes herself from anything that lowers her peace. Pillar 4, she chooses alignment over attention. Attention is so cheap. Alignment is expensive. And she knows the difference. She's not moved by effort that isn't consistent. She's not impressed by words without actions. She's not flattered by people who show interest but never show investment. Her question is always, does this align with where I'm going, or does this distract me from it? Hello. Pillar 5, her softness is protected, not performed. The world taught women to perform softness, to be nice, agreeable, sweet, pleasant. But a high-value woman doesn't perform softness. She practices it. She doesn't give softness where there is no safety. She doesn't stretch herself thin to seem easygoing. She doesn't hand out emotional intimacy like free samples. Her softness is sacred, and anything sacred is selective. Because a lot of women think high value means expensive taste or high maintenance. No. Being high value is not about cost. It's about clarity. Here's what it looks like on a Tuesday afternoon, right? She doesn't double text after she already gave her energy. She doesn't explain a boundary more than once. She doesn't stay in conversations that drain her spirit. And she doesn't pretend to be okay to keep someone comfortable. She doesn't settle for almost, maybe, halfway, or inconsistent. And here's a secret. High value isn't what you say. High value is what you stop tolerating. Women who live in their code don't argue for their worth. They embody it. They don't chase energy. They match it. They don't wait to be treated well. They choose environments where that's the norm. And they don't fall apart when someone pulls back. They simply step back too, with grace, calm, and clarity. Because a high-value woman doesn't panic when someone leaves. She understands what leaves her life was never aligned with her future. And what stays grows stronger, right? Queen, everything we just talked about, the code, the clarity, the standards, none of it matters if it stays in your mind. A high value woman doesn't just know her worth, she walks in it. She just doesn't just understand her patterns, she shifts them. She doesn't just say she deserves better. She stops entertaining anything that contradicts that truth. It's action. It's real transformation. It doesn't just happen in theory, but it's walked out every day. She embodies it. All right, let's slow this down for a moment. Let's take a breath with me. Inhale, calm. Exhale, tension. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your body feel what your mind has been carrying alone. Right? This is the time. This is the part that something inside you finally clicks back into place. I want you to hear me clearly. You don't become high value by being perfect. You become high value by being aligned. Aligned with peace. Aligned with your worth. Aligned with your intuition. Aligned with the woman God is calling you to be, not the woman life tried to turn you into. Hallelujah. And now I'm going to give you something to practice this week. Okay. Your small move is called a pause of power. Every time you feel tempted to react emotionally, right? A dry text, a shift in tone, an unanswered message, a sudden pullback, stop. Take 5 slow breaths, breathe. In those 5 breaths, ask yourself, is this about my value or my old wounds? That pause right there, that's where high value behavior is born. When you embody the code of not reacting from panic, they now respond from clarity. Okay. Your large move, rewrite your standard operating system. This week, I want you to write one powerful list. What I no longer entertain. That's the title. Not what you hope for, not what you wish for, not what you want someday. What you will not allow anymore. It can include things like inconsistent communication, lukewarm energy, being someone's emotional crutch, dating for potential, over-explaining yourself, chasing effort, fear-based decisions, accepting crumbs, and shrinking to be chosen. Write it down, say it out loud, honor it like a vow to yourself. Because a woman who knows what she will not entertain becomes unstoppable in what she will attract. Okay? Make sure you do this week. It definitely will help you. Do this with me now. Place your hand over your heart. Say this softly so your spirit hears you. I honor my value without apology. I choose alignment over attention. I choose peace over panic. I choose clarity over confusion. I choose myself without hesitation. Breathe it in. Let your nervous system memorize that truth. Because that's who you are. Queen, you don't have to shut your worth. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to argue your worth. You just embody it. You live it. You breathe it. And the world adjusts around you. Before you go, make sure you subscribe. We're building a community of women who heal deeply, love wisely, and live peacefully. Drop a comment and tell me which part of the high value women's code you're stepping into today. And this week, stay calm, stay clear, stay crowned, because peace is power and you wear it well. Be blessed, Queen.